Many people stop going to church or hop on this church because they have the latest and the coolest modern cover-ups. It seems that these places are going somewhere, only to realize that they are running from God. We forget many times that God can turn any situation, any circumstance to serve a bigger purpose and to serve a bigger mission. We cannot conceal anything from God, who knows every detail. Church, as we approach Lent, and this chapter of Jonah is a good transition into the Lenten season. I am convinced that if we earnestly seek God, God can provide the answers that we are seeking, because God holds the power to transform our lives. When we intentionally carve out time for God, silencing all distractions, tuning out what does not need to be there, whether it's the media, whether it's naysayers, whether it's certain friends or family, we can go to God in prayer and say, God, I need to hear from you today. God, I need you in my life. God, you see, placed Jonah on time out, isolating him from all other voices. And the only voice that Jonah was able to hear was God's. It was God's voice that spoke to Jonah when he was in that dark place in the belly of the fish. Despite Jonah's disobedience, God spared his life, still wanted to use Jonah. The message here that resonates with us is that I have called you and I still want to use you, even though you have disobeyed me. I have not given up on you. Your life has a purpose. Your life could be turned into my mission for the world. This message serves as a reminder that seeking God in sincere repentance and reflection can lead to transformation and a renewed sense of purpose for each and every one of us. This is the God that we serve, a God of boundless second chances and more. Each one of us in here has experienced the mercy of God, of multiple chances that extends far beyond second chances, and yet God still desires to work through us. Regardless of our age, regardless of our background, regardless of where we have been, regardless of how far we have strayed from God, God is still willing to use us for God's purpose. And this is the good news that we have as a church and as a people of God. The book of Jonah unfolds a story of second chances. Jonah, you see, isn't just the sole recipient of God's grace, but also the people around him also receive grace. And especially when Jonah finally listened to God, a whole city also received God's grace. The message here is that when we own up to our mistakes, when we own up to our past and what we had done wrong, on how disobedient we have been, God is willing to listen to us. God is waiting for us to turn and to change our lives in order that God can use us. This morning, we gather at the table, and it is a table of grace. It is a table